from the Fox 5 studios, this is Silver State Sports Live.
Welcome inside Silver State Sports Live. On today's show, John Spytek thinks linemen are sexy. So do I, by the way.
Good.
The A's pitching staff, led by Jeffrey Springs, continues to dominate, and Asia Wilson makes history with the richest contract in the history of the WNBA.
Yeah, Mark Davis's hair might be pink, but right now Vegas has gold on its mind. The Knights have a chance to clinch the division tonight with a point versus the Kraken. The tight race to the finish in the Pacific Division, with the regular season coming to a close tomorrow. VGK currently in the top spot and looking to keep it that way with the Oilers and Ducks in tow.
How can the guys in gold secure the division? Well, all they need is one mere point tonight against the Kraken. That would solidify a home ice in the first round, and the matchup would be set against the Utah Mammoth. Here's Torts talking about keeping up the pace the Knights are on as they head into the postseason.
You're thinking about playing fast and playing with pace and pushing and pressing. I think everything we do is towards that. I think that helps to turn into instinctively, mentally you're doing it. That's what we are. And in a short period, as I've said right from the get-go when I came here, it wasn't about changing a lot of the systems. It was about changing the mind. And it's one of the most interesting things to coach. And so everything we're doing is trying to lead towards that.
All right, so let's bring in our golden guy, Vince Sapienza, to talk all about the grand finale this evening. All right, so we've talked about, at length really, about the difference in play since Torts has come in. He's entered the fold. We talked about Jack Eichel getting productive just yesterday, but are there any other players that come to mind when you think about who is shining under Torts' new system?
Yeah, one shining example has been Rasmus Andersson, and I don't think there's a close second. In fact, 3 games ago, he played a season-high 29-plus minutes. No one else played more than 25. So Rasmus Andersson is being used in a very different way than is being used under head coach Bruce Cassidy. And what's fascinating about it is Rasmus Andersson has 8 points in his last 8 games, and that's pretty significant considering it was a slow start for Rasmus Andersson when he got over here. It was a tough pill to swallow when he first got traded to Calgary. He gets over here, they go to the Olympics, they play the Olympics. He does not have a good experience being a healthy scratch for Team Sweden, and then he comes back, and it was a slow grind for just about everybody on the Golden Knights to get back into a rhythm. Rasmus Andersson was the big ticket item at the trade deadline, right? He was supposed to be the guy that kind of helps this team get over the edge. And it wasn't until the last couple weeks, last 8 games, again, 8 points in 8 games, he has really shined. Not just on the offensive end, though, but he is really, as you can see right there, bringing the sandpaper, if you will, bringing the heat.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic, fun personality to talk to in the locker room, and you can watch him in his play. He is a fun guy, an easy guy to root for when he's on your team. You don't like him if you're going against Rasmus Andersson, but he's a guy that is definitely shined under John Tortorella, and he really plays that north-south game to a T for Torts.
Okay, so Vince, on the flip side, though, things have been fairly quiet for Tomas Hertl. He's unable to break through in scoring lately. Is there any concern there? How do you think this drought is affecting him mentally?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of concern, right? He has 3 points in his last 18 games. He hasn't scored since March 4th.
Wow.
I mean, this is a guy that at the time was leading the team in goals. So when you have that kind of production fall off, it's definitely a concern. That being said, they're 6-0-1 in their last 7, and they haven't gotten that production. If Tomas Hertl can start producing, even it may not be at the clip that he was early on, that's a dangerous thing. Now you have 3 lines to worry about come postseason time. But Tomas Hertl, I've talked to him many times. He's talked about, goal scorers are streaky. And he's no different. And when it's not going his way, it weighs on him. He feels it every day. He talked about it last week. He goes, this is the longest drought I've been in my career. He's aware of it. And you see some of the highlights here. He's getting in good positions. He's getting in the quiet areas. He's doing the dirty things when he needs to. They're just not going his way right now. I do think, watch, come round 1, game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, he's probably going to score the first goal, and then, this giant weight will be taken off his shoulder. But until he does that, it's going to continue to weigh on him. And John Tortorella was asked, what do you do with those kinds of players? He goes, you got to put them in positions to score. You got to help them out. The rest of the team has to rally around them. That doesn't mean force feeding them, But hey, if there's an empty net situation, maybe you throw that guy out there. Try and get him feeling good about his game. So that's something I would look for late in the game. If there's an opportunity like that arises, he's still on the first power play. He's still in the middle of the action. So I think better days are ahead for Tomas Hertl, but definitely concerned right now if you're the Golden Knights looking for those 3 lines.
Yeah, all right. So tonight, all they need, 1 point against the Kraken. This team is obviously red hot right now. And before we get to the postseason, it's so close, but what do you want to see tonight that you hope carries over?
I was about to say with all due respect to Seattle, but anytime you do that, you're really not showing respect to them.
Yeah.
Right now, Seattle did hand the Golden Knights their only loss under the Tortorella era, shootout loss in the Emerald City just a few days ago. But in terms of tonight, the Golden Knights need to keep their foot on the gas, right? They need to continue what they did against Winnipeg, and that doesn't necessarily mean they got to go out and score 6 goals. You just got to get a point. To your point, it's all about getting the result, whatever that looks like. And I think for the first time, we saw maybe the most complete form of the Golden Knights in terms of that pace that Tortorella is looking for. You heard it in the soundbite. We saw that against Winnipeg. Now, again, it resulted in a lot of goals. I don't think that's going to happen every single time, but there's no reason to say it cannot continue tonight against Seattle.
All right, great stuff there, Vince. Still to come on Silver State Sports Live, the Raiders are gearing up for the draft and have taken calls from other teams regarding that first overall pick. We're dissecting the comments made by General Manager John Spytek next.
This week on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Your Triple SEN lineup is sponsored by AAA Roadside Assistance. Visit AAA today.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
Well, there you have it. It's done. A'ja Wilson and the Aces have a deal.
Yes, the 4-time MVP and 3-time champion made history with this deal, signing a 3-year, $5 million Supermax contract to stay in Vegas.
Yeah, the contract is fully guaranteed, and it sets a record for the largest deal in WNBA history. Under the new collective bargaining agreement, the Supermax contract rose from $250,000 to $1.4 million, so significant movement there. Number 22 is staying in Vegas, and we're going to discuss this more at the end of the show.
And there's more. The Aces also making waves by signing former Chicago Sky guard Kennedy Carter to a training camp contract. A former number 4 overall draft pick back in 2020. She finished runner-up for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and for basketball heads like me that like some 80s and 90s NBA vibes, well, Carter plays tough, perhaps most well known for delivering a viral hard foul on superstar Caitlin Clark. In her 4 seasons, though, in the W, Carter has averaged just under 15 points per game.
We've gotten a few calls, and those teams know where they stand right now.
That was Raiders general manager John Spytek on fielding calls on the number 1 pick. Yesterday, the Raiders held a pre-draft press conference at the facility in Henderson. He was joined by assistant general manager Brian Stark as they addressed the media.
Yeah, Spytek also said he feels that the team can have enough offensive linemen, saying, quote, offensive linemen are sexy as hell. And let me just tell you, Vegas, that's the mentality I want in my GM.
We got to give love to the big guys, okay? They're in the trenches doing the dirty work. They're unsung heroes, so I love a little notoriety for them. But, Mike, you can't say much on the team's intentions. The NFL and the media are fairly certain that Fernando Mendoza will be the number 1 pick. But hypothetically, if you were Spytek, what would it take for you to trade that top pick?
Nothing. There would be nothing on earth, nothing that God could even deliver that would make me trade out of this number 1 overall pick. Because when you are a team like the Raiders that have not been able to make the playoffs in such a long time, not contending for Super Bowls, right? What's the quickest way to turn everything around? The only way to turn things around is to hit on a franchise quarterback. And then you build around a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. So it doesn't even mean anything. If you could get Joe Burrow right now, well, that doesn't help anybody because now you got to pay him Joe Burrow money, and you don't have the money to build around Joe Burrow. So really, it's not just about who Mendoza is a player today. It's what it comes with in terms of financial flexibility to support him. And I think what the Raiders have done this offseason and why it's been so masterful in what Spy Tech has really laid out is the fact that they're already putting in motion the things they need to do to support Mendoza day one. We saw the Colts when they selected Peyton Manning. He didn't have all the tools and the setup necessary to succeed. Even when they drafted Andrew Luck, who was like the greatest prospect of all time, they didn't have an O-line for him and he had to retire early. So that's why he went out, made the move and got Linderbaum and did all these things to set up Mendoza for success. So yes, Mariah, that's why I went yesterday to go buy myself an Esquire magazine.
Oh, to compare Cavs.
Yes.
No, I totally get it. No, I'm with you. You don't move from that top overall pick, especially when you are the Raiders and you have this dire need, as you just mentioned. You can't really do that. The only situation maybe is swapping top spots with another top 5 team, and that's hoping that no one is really going to steal your thunder there, and that's operating on good faith, but call teams like the Ravens.
Ooh.
We don't know if we can actually believe some of these other front offices. So I think you stay put unless you really know for certain that these other teams aren't going for a quarterback and they're not going for the player that you have your eye on. But obviously, the Raiders got to stay put. So that was more of a, yeah, we heard what they're asking for. Doesn't really matter. We're staying put. We got our guy. Everyone knows what's going down with that first overall pick.
Et tu Brute. Eric DaCosta. That's all I have to say to him. Voldemort. That's all. That's what I call him now.
Taking me back to my Latin days in middle school.
All right,
Scary.
Here we go. Let's talk some baseball.
Nice.
Jeffrey Springs on the hill. He's been lights out to start this season, but in the top of the second, it was Rookie of the Year, runner-up from last year, Jacob Wilson, making this incredible snag at shortstop to rob the Rangers of a base hit. Essentially a no-look throw to first. He gets the run.
That's pretty sweet. Now, bottom of the third here, bases juiced for Wilson, and he comes through with a base hit to left. That scores Denzel Clark and Shea Langoliers. The 2-out rally puts the A's up 2-1.
Yes, and in the fourth, Denzel Clark does it again. A leaping grab at the wall. It's what he does day in, day out at this level. Look at that, the showmanship. He's not even impressed with himself anymore.
He's unfazed.
It's so cool, taking away extra bases on this drive to the wall. But the night was all about Jeffrey Springs, who has been the highlight of the A's rotation so far. 6 1/3 last night, 3 hits, 5 Ks, and just that 1 run allowed. He brings his ERA down to 1.46 on the year.
I mean, he's just continuing to go out with a lot of confidence, pitch with that confidence, attack the zone. He's got a full arsenal that he's confident in throwing strikes with, keeping hitters off balance. We saw that tonight, and I thought he did a great job of going back out in that 6th, getting Haggerty, and really setting the lineup up for us to give our bullpen a great chance and good matchups.
Dare we say it, he may be the new ace. The A's have game 3 of their series tonight against Texas. First pitch set for 6:40. All right, coming up next, we have a special guest in the studio. UNLV Rebels quarterback Alex Orji joins the show. We're going to pepper him with questions next.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
Well, the UNLV football team is back at it. Spring ball underway. The Rebels are entering their 2nd season with Dan Mullen at the helm, looking to lead the program back to the Mountain West Championship game.
And joining us now is a guy that knows a thing or two about life with Dan Mullen, UNLV quarterback Alex Orji. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so spring ball is in session. What are the vibes like so far, year 2 with Coach Mullen at the helm?
The vibes are high. We're feeling good. We know that there's more to accomplish than what we did last year, but what a great opportunity for us to get after it now.
All right. Now, first of all, you don't even look like you're built like a quarterback. You got a build up like a linebacker, dude.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. But Before you came to Vegas, you were a national champion, right,
Yes,
at
sir.
Michigan. As a backup quarterback there, I'm just so curious. With Coach Harbaugh, a former quarterback in the NFL, what are some of the things you took away from your time with the Wolverines, especially even from Coach Harbaugh?
Yeah, I think the biggest things that I took away, aside from, learning how to take a snap under center and, throw routes on time, was just being a man without football, and learning that football isn't everything. And Coach Harbaugh did a great job at teaching us that, just from obviously his life post-playing career, but just seeing who he is on a day in and day out basis, and a man of family, a man of faith, and then football's, not his top priority. So it was great to learn those things, and also just a ton of stuff that I'll be able to carry out into my daily life and off the field.
Love that.
Now, you're coming off of a season-ending injury. How are you feeling right now? What can we expect you to be ready to go for week 1 of the upcoming season?
Yeah, I've been feeling great lately. Coaches are still keeping me under control in practice and everything. Just obviously I'm hungry to get out there and do everything, but they're doing a good job of being smart with our training staff and strength and conditioning staff and everybody, all hands on. But I've been feeling good in practice. I'm feeling confident and just really ready to get back to it. I can't thank God enough for just the opportunity to be here and be able to get back to playing the sport that I love.
I remember when you were coming to Vegas and I started watching your highlights, I'm like, man, this guy is a dual threat. I mean, this guy knows how to run with the rock. I'm curious, who did you study at the quarterback position? Who kind of influences you? Growing up, who did you model your game after?
So growing up, I was a Seattle Seahawks fan, just honestly, because my name was Alex and Sean Alexander won the MVP when I was real young, and I saw his name on the back of people's jerseys. So, but by the time I started playing quarterback, it was really Russell Wilson that took over for them, and just seeing the things that he was able to do at the quarterback position, not being the tallest, biggest, or fastest guy, just still being able to be elite and lead his team. I thought that, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league during my time in middle school and high school. And then obviously just pulling different things from different people's games. I like Cam Newton a whole lot growing up. Just, I kept growing and kept getting bigger and bigger. I thought that I might, get to his size, so I watched him a lot. And then once I got to Michigan, especially wearing number 10 there, I started watching a little bit more Brady tape and just kind of trying to figure out what made him great. A lot of people talk about how he wasn't the most talented guy or whatever it may have been, but just him being elite in every facet of the game.
Did you get to meet him while you were there at Michigan?
Yeah, so in 2023, when we played in the Rose Bowl, he talked to the whole team. I think it was days before we played, so it was pretty cool. I mean, there were so many people that came through that facility and so many legends that I never thought I'd be able to meet. It was great.
That's so awesome. Now, back to UNLV, though, in spring ball now. You got the quarterback room. You got Jackson Arnold there as well. What's your relationship like with him? What's it just been like competing here? I know obviously you're still working your way back in, but how has it been so far?
It's been great, especially him being another guy from Texas, and us, we grew up 45 minutes away from each other. We actually played for the same high school coach. My freshman year, after my freshman year, Coach Webb left and went to Denton Guyer, where Jackson's from. So it's pretty cool just being able to have those conversations and icebreakers. And then as we got closer, just understanding that for me, the quarterbacks have always been the guys that I've been closest with on the team, just knowing that nobody else is going to truly be able to understand what we go through on a daily basis besides us. So I had to apologize to Paloma. I was a little late just because him and I we're actually playing Harry Potter trivia.
That's the best reason to be late. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
Yeah, so we got some things in common.
Harry Potter trivia.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out.
I'm so bad at Harry Potter.
What house are you?
Yes, that's what I was going to
I'm Gryffindor.
I love it.
You said that like you know
He
for
knows.
sure. What does that mean?
A Gryffindor just knows.
Yeah.
What is a Gryffindor?
Well, I already thought I was a Gryffindor, and then I took the quiz, and I figured out, which reinstilled that in me.
Yeah.
And my brother's a Slytherin, so like,
Ew.
always been looking
Gross.
but I always figured he was.
Yeah.
I knew
You can
it growing
tell
up.
when someone's
That's the worst.
a
What am
Slytherin.
I? Tell me what I am.
My guess would be Hufflepuff.
I was going to say Hufflepuff.
I would say
He
Hufflepuff.
gives
That doesn't
Hufflepuff.
sound good. I love how Alex started looking me up and down.
You asked, though. You asked.
I asked, but you started looking me up and down like, wait, it's the pants. Hufflepuff doesn't sound good. I'd rather be Slytherin. At least it's
No, come on.
No, anything is better than
It's the
Slytherin.
losing team.
So embrace the Hufflepuff. You embrace your
Yes,
Gryffindor.
ma'am.
We love it. We love it. All right, Alex, well, thank you so much. It was such a
course.
pleasure to have you here talking
No doubt.
football, talking Hogwarts, all the good things, Harry Potter.
course.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, man. Coming up, Asia Wilson got paid. After the break, we're diving deeper into the contract for one of the faces, perhaps the face of Las Vegas sports.
Correction, defense.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
I'm just gonna say that, like, I'm still not over what just went down. To
See
be
that
honest,
right there? That's a Gryffindor. That's a Gryffindor.
I stopped midway in the Sorcerer's Stone, so I don't know anything about anything. But I just want to say, like, inside joke. Stage 5 Klinger here would be, he would be Hufflepuff.
That's okay.
Right?
What's wrong with that? There's plenty of people to make up a house.
And
make a house a
It's
home.
because I wore khakis. Mom, why did you tell me to wear khakis today, Mom?
Let's not detract from the queen here,
Okay.
okay? Because this is Miss Asia Wilson. The girl got paid, rightly so. Let's throw it back to when she won her 4th MVP, breaking history in the WNBA left and right, and everyone broke out the pink wigs in celebration of her. I think Mark Davis should rock that wig every single day.
I thought this was AI. Like, I did not even believe this when I saw this.
Right, well, her dad looks kind of scary.
It's almost as shocking as somebody saying I should be in Hufflepuff. Like, that's what this photo.
This is an incredible photo. This is a photo of all Gryffindors because they're champions.
I do love when Asia, though, brings out the different colors. What's the color this year?
The color, you know what? James called it, our producer. He said green to represent the money, the bag she just got. I'd love to see that. Green is my favorite color.
She could rock it. I love green as well.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Hufflepuff out.
Forever.